Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Rising a Bodhisattva. It's a great honor to be here with today. I'm Nancy, the founder of International Buddha Dharma Society for Cosmic Law in America. Today is April 9th. Spring is here. It's sunny outside. Trees are sprouting and birds are chirping. It rained last night and the air outside should be fresh and sweet. It's a beautiful time of the year. Like most people, I'm staying home according to the state's stay-at-home order. It's a time of reflection, a time of heart settling, and a time of self-purification. Today, let's talk about how to be born in the Buddha's Pure Land. From the last few talks, you should know that there are countless Pure Lands in the universe, and each one is magnificent and inconceivable. Specifically, we talked about the Pure Land of Akshobhya Buddha, and we spent most of our time on the Western Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha. In the eyes of a Buddha, all Pure Lands are the same. However, in the eyes of common living beings, due to their discrimination, each Pure Land is different. For many times, Sakyamuni Buddha recommended the Pure Land of Amitabha to us and said that both good men and good women should vow to be born in the land of utmost happiness. From the scientific point of view, each Buddha land is a certain energy field with a certain frequency or frequency range, like the channel or the radio. To be born in one of the Pure Lands, one should tune his energy frequency to that channel, to that Pure Land, the Buddha land. What do we need to do exactly to be born in the Pure Lands? Sakyamuni Buddha expounded in different sutras, and let's learn some of them. In the sutra, observing Maitreya Bodhisattva ascending to Tusita heaven, the Buddha said, "After I enter nirvana, my disciples, if you diligently practice and accumulate all merits, hold on to your dignity, clean the stupas and cool the ground, make offerings of good incense and wonderful flowers, practice different kinds of samadhi, penetrate into the Buddha's teachings, read classic sutras, concentrate your heart without stopping. Then it's as if you have 6 supernatural powers. You should recall the image of Buddha and chant the name of Maitreya Bodhisattva. For these disciples, in the moment of rising of one thought, holding the 8 precepts, cultivating the various pure merits, bringing up great results, after this life, you'll be born in the Tusita heaven in a short moment and sit on the lotus flower in the full lotus pasture." In the sutra of the Buddha speaking of Akshobhya Buddha, after hearing Sakyamuni Buddha praise the merits of Buddha land of Akshobhya Buddha, a monk became greatly attached to it and said to the Buddha, "World honored one, now I wish to be born in Akshobhya Buddha's land." The Buddha told the monk, "With your foolishness and delusion, how can you be born there? Why? Because one with any passion or attachment cannot be born in that Buddha land. Only those who have planted good roots and cultivated pure actions could be born there." There is only one door to be born in the Buddha's Pure Land, which is to deeply believe, sincerely bring up the vow to be born there, and then practice diligently. To deeply believe means to believe that I am the Buddha, and I have the Buddha nature. To believe that there is a Pure Land of that Buddha. To believe the causes and effects, and to believe that I am able to be born there with the help from the Buddha. To sincerely bring up the vow means to bring up the vow to be born in the Buddha's land after this life without any hesitation, without any attachment to things and people in this current world. To bring up the vow with a full heart. At the same time, we also need to make the vow to transform all living beings, which means that we should bring up Bodhisattva or Buddha resolve to rescue all living beings that are still in the suffering sea, because all is one. To practice diligently means to practice according to what the Buddha expounded in the sutra, and how other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas practiced, recalling and chanting the name of the Buddha, making offerings to the Buddha, practicing the 6 paramitas, and so on. To deeply believe, to sincerely make the vow, and to practice diligently are 3 methods, but also one. One will not be able to be born in the Buddha's Pure Land with any of them missing. Now let's see what Mahasammaprapta Bodhisattva did in the chapter of Mahasammaprapta Bodhisattva chanting Amitabha to attain the perfect penetration in the Shrangama Sutra. Here is the sutra. Mahasammaprapta Bodhisattva, together with 52 Bodhisattvas of similar rank, arose from his seat, bowed at the Buddha's feet, and said to the Buddha, I remember when, as many eons ago at the sands in the Ganges River, a Buddha called Limitless Light appeared in the world. In that same eon, there were 12 successive Daskan ones. The last one was called Light Surpassing the Sun and Moon. That Buddha taught me the Buddha recitation samadhi. Suppose there were a person who always remembers someone else, but the someone else he remembers has entirely forgotten about him. If 2 such people were to meet, even if they were to see each other, they would not take notice. They would not recognize each other. If 2 people remember each other until the memory of each is deep, then in life after life they will be together like a form and its shadow, and they will never be at odds. Out of pity for living beings, the Daskan ones of the 10 directions are mindful of them, as a mother remembers her child. If the child runs away, of what use is the mother's regard? But if the child remembers his mother in the same way that the mother remembers the child, then in life after life the mother and the child will not be far apart. If living beings remember the Buddha and are mindful of the Buddha, certainly they will see the Buddha now or in the future. They will never be far from the Buddha, and their minds will awaken by themselves without the aid of expedients. A person who has been near incense will carry a fragrance on his body. It's the same in this case. It's called an adornment of fragrant light. On the causal ground, I used mindfulness of the Buddha to enter into patience with the non-production of dharmas. Now in this world, I gather in all those who are mindful of the Buddha and bring them back to the Pure Land. The Buddha asked about perfect penetration. I was led none other than gathering in the 6 organs through continuous pure mindfulness to attain samadhi. This is the foremost method. When we say chanting the name of Buddha Amitabha, like we do every day, Amitabha, 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 it seems that we are saying chanting the name of Amitabha with mouth, but actually the most important is to chant with heart, or thinking of Amitabha, or recalling Amitabha, or missing Amitabha Buddha. Like a child misses his mother, this missing starts from the heart, not the mouth, not the brain. Instead, it's heart wave, electromagnetic wave from the heart, and this energy wave will be received by Amitabha Buddha, and he will sure respond back. So, no matter which Buddha's land you want to go, recite, recall, think of, or meet that Buddha with the most sincere and genuine heart. A sincere and genuine heart will send out the strongest signal. Reciting sutras of that Buddha and going through the great vows of that Buddha will help you perceive the Buddha well so that you can have deeper connection with the Buddha. Also, in the Sutra of the Contemplation on Amitabha Buddha, the Buddha also expounded, those who wish to be born in the country of the Buddha have to cultivate the threefold goodness. First, they should act filially toward their parents and support them, serve and respect their teachers and elders, have a compassionate heart, abstain from doing any injury, and cultivate the 10 virtuous actions. Second, they should make and observe the vow of seeking refuge with the 3 draws, fulfill all moral precepts, and not lower their dignity or neglect any ceremonial observance. Third, they should give their whole mind to the attainment of perfect wisdom, deeply believe in the principle of cause and effect, study and recite the Mahayana doctrines, and persuade and encourage others who pursue the same course as themselves. These 3 groups, as enumerated, are called the 3 pure actions leading to the Buddha's country. The Buddha continued, these 3 classes of actions are the effective cause of the pure actions taught by all the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. That's all for today. Delve deeply into the Sutra Pitaka and gain an ocean of knowledge. Learn from the Buddha and abstain super wisdom. Let the name of Amitabha ring up in your heart whenever it's possible. You sure will benefit a lot. Each chanting of Amitabha is a flash of light. One life, one thing, then you sure will make it. Amitabha, I'm honored to be here with today. Stay safe under this pandemic situation. Keep social distancing. Wear masks in public places. Wash your hands frequently. Thank you. Bye. See you next time.